Day. Yeah, so just wanted to go live here quickly. Just for a little bit. I got some stuff to do here at 12:30. But I feel like I'm saying let me just jump off and go live with y'all. Talk to the people out there, man. Hopefully everyone's having a good one. Hopefully everyone is being productive today, and whatnot. So we're gonna let everybody fill up in here and we're gonna talk some draft. A lot of people asking a lot of draft questions online. So, meet me where I'm at. Meet me where I'm at. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's get some things popping up here. Just in the lab, chilling, vibing. Let's see here. Yeah, so yeah. What's up, Kelvin? What's going on with you, bro? What's going on? What's going on with you, dog? Like I said, it's going improv, going live. I want to make sure I talk to the people, talk to the community out there. Some draft questions, Cowboys questions. Let's wrap. I'm in here cutting up some film for y'all. So I am going to do a film breakdown on Jonathan Mingo for y'all. So I'm not sure if anyone has actually done it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't seen it. So I know a lot of people are talking about the Dallas Cowboys drafting a wide receiver in the first round. So I want to kind of go take a look at Jonathan Mingo from a film perspective and let y'all know, like, what do we actually even have? Let me see here. What's up, East Coast? What's going on with you? What's up, Quadre? So, Kelvin, this draft is giving me serious draft down vibes. So I'll say this. I think the reason why a lot of Cowboys fans can't get, up and excited about this year's draft is because one, there's a lot of unknowns, right? Because one, completely new coaching staff. Two, we have so many holes. There's a conversation and debate for pretty much any position. I know there's a thing between weapons and guard and defensive tackle and should we go cornerback? I think that's why, there's a lot of people kind of feeling antsy when it comes to the draft because this is a huge question mark and a lot of unknowns. And to be such a premium value pick at 12, to have those question marks is kind of scary, right? So I think that's where a lot of Cowboys fans are. Me personally, I'm the same way because it's like, damn, I know we need a wide receiver, but it's like, do I think the Cowboys going to have the courage to do it? And I see that people are talking about, Genty and T-Mac. I'll say it from my perspective, y'all. I know there's been a lot of hate on Mac, but with this draft class, I would kind of be shocked if he slid all the way to 12. You know what I'm saying? I feel like 6'5", extremely athletic, hands of pillows, big catch radius, 4'5", you ran a 4'5". So, I feel like a team is just going to take a flight on him because they're going to be what I call FOMO, the fear of missing out. Second C is either going to be Mac or Golden that goes before 12. And if Genty is gone, Mac is gone, I think that's where the uncertainty for a lot of Cowboys fans really kick in because that opens up everything. What's up, Anger? What's going on with you, bro? So yeah, I think, what I'm saying, it's fun, but for us Cowboys fans who want instant improvement, I think that's where the uncertainty really kicks in, man, because it's like I don't know. I really don't know. Because like even like from years of past, I knew what Mike McCarthy liked. Mike McCarthy had a mold. Dan Quinn used to have a mold, so it was easy for me to sit back and say, "Oh, DeMartian Overshown, that fits, right? That fits." Or Sam Williams, Dan Quinn is gonna love that, So I was able to do that with the past coaching regime. With Schottenheimer and Eberflus, I have no idea what the hell they're going to try to build. You see what I'm saying? So I think that leaves it up for grabs when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys draft. My dog Bumpy in the building. What's going on with you, bro, man? Y'all definitely check out my dog Bumpy. He just dropped a brand new project, man, out there repping the West. Even though he stole Luca from me, that's my dog, man. Salute to Bumpy, bro. Yeah, so I think that's what kind of leaves it up to interpretation when it comes to this draft class. Is like, yo, where can we go? Because there's so many different spots because of the holes the Cowboys currently have. And I might make an independent video on this because a lot of people are asking me like, yo, Tuck, how early? Thanks on the half of Luke, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, it is what it is. So a lot of people ask me, yo, Tuck, how early would you draft a quarterback? And me personally, from a backup quarterback situation, I'm not drafting one of these quarterbacks super early, y'all. I'm just not. I just refuse not to. I know people talk about Jalen Milroe and this and that. Nah. We have way too many pressing needs to be getting a quarterback, a backup quarterback. And a lot of people kind of got on me about this online, but they're talking about the Joe Milton thing. Like, oh, we should trade a 5th-round pick for Joe Milton or a 6th-round pick for Joe Milton. I'm like, if that's the case, bro, just go bring Trey Lance back, because at least Trey Lance was in the building for 2 years. He did show some upside potential when he got the opportunity to play. I'm not burning another 5th-round pick or a 6th-round pick on another project guy. Just finish the project that you already had. You see what I'm saying? So me personally, day 3, 6th round, if there's a quarterback floating out there, yeah. But I'm not burning any premium value. I see some people like, oh, the 2nd round, 3rd round. Absolutely not. This year's quarterback class is not that. You actually should wait till next year if you really want a quarterback. Because outside of Ward and Shador, maybe I'll give you Jackson Dart. You know what I'm saying? I can give you maybe Rourke out of Indiana. Like, there's some guys like that, but no one that's going to make any instant impact if Dak Prescott was to go down. You can go get a veteran guy off the street. You see what I'm saying? You could go get Will Greer back or some shit like that. I'm not burning a top 3 pick or even a top 5 pick, from the 5th round above on a backup quarterback project. I'm just not doing it, especially if you see what's happening with the quarterback landscape. I mean, hell, the Titans might go Cam Ward. You might have Will Levis out there floating around for a 6th or 7th round pick. So I wouldn't really press for a quarterback. That's not really a place of urgency when it comes to me and this Cowboys team. But like I was saying earlier, y'all, what I'm doing right now, I'm almost done with it. I am cutting up Jonathan Mingo film. So I know a lot of people, we talk about wide receiver, and here's what I'm gonna say, right? A lot of people are gonna say, no, Tuck, you're talking about Mingo, and we still need a wide receiver. I still think that we do need a wide receiver. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not shying away from that. I still would go with a wide receiver in the 1st round. But what I want to show you guys is what could the Cowboys be looking at in Mingo and why they could possibly pass on him or pass on a wide receiver early. Now, once again, y'all, spin it. Whole lot of red. Whole lot of red when it comes to Jonathan Mingo. See what I'm saying? That's a whole lot of red right there when it comes to Jonathan Mingo. But I feel like the Cowboys might see something that they feel like they can work some magic. And I think the Cowboys, they have this I can fix him, right? I can fix him. I can fix him type mentality. And what they're looking at when it comes to Mingo is 6'2", 225, Ole Miss. He has the size. And so maybe in our offense and our organization, we can change it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. The Cowboys kind of have this thing. We all know those people in life who, like, they know, if you're a guy who know this girl who's cheated on multiple guys, well, it's going to be different with me. The Cowboys really have that mindset that it's going to be different with me. I personally don't feel it. You know what I'm saying? But, we'll see. But he has the size. He has the look. Could he be different with Dak Prescott versus when he played with, Bryce Young and, and Cooper Rush? Possibly. But what I wanted to do is show y'all from a film perspective the traits, right? Is there any traits that we can be looking at to say, okay, it's there, right? Because he has some outside reps, targets. He has some slot targets, whatnot. What's going on, Regina? What's going on, Ty? What's going on with y'all? So I'm gonna break down the Jonathan Mingo film. I'm probably gonna do that here. Probably after my call. I got some stuff going on here with Dez in a second, and then I'll probably get to that film today. But getting back to the draft, like I said, when it comes to the quarterback position, me personally, I wouldn't reach on it. Which opens the conversation at corner. And I will say this, when it comes to corner, y'all, I think that we do need a corner, but it's not really a pressing need. You know what I'm saying? It's not really a pressing need to get one in the first round. Now, I will say this about Will Johnson. Outside of Travis Hunter, all right, I feel like Will Johnson is the most complete corner, the most pure corner in this NFL draft. We got some snipers. Y'all know what to do, man. Get these people up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Snipers, let them rip. Let them rip. Let me pass you one, Kelvin. You know what I'm saying? Let me pass y'all. You know what I'm saying? Let me pass y'all the burners. You know what I'm saying? Because we got some. So, we got Jets fans in here. That's new. I mean, that's new. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it shows how we're growing in this community, y'all, where we got some Jets fans in here, and you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, cool. Shouts out to the Jets. They got a quarterback, and let my dog Jordan Travis give a spin, but it shows the impact of being a Dallas Cowboys content creator. Is everybody just wants a piece. Everybody just wants to time into the show, right? Which I understand, and we welcome all viewers, but be on y'all best behavior. You know what I'm saying? Be on y'all best behavior. Y'all ain't got to spam the chat. If you're an Eagles fan, cool, bro. Congratulations. We see you. But shit, we got other stuff to talk about. You know what I'm saying? We got it the first time. The Eagles, Cowboys suck. We get it the first time. We don't need it 45 times. If you post it 45 times, we going to shoot and get you up out of here because we got real things to focus on. But yeah, getting back to Will Johnson. I like Will Johnson. I feel like he's the most complete corner opposite of Travis Hunter. I like Travis. And you know what's crazy? I was talking to somebody about this, right? Think about if we didn't have to go out there and play hero ball, if there was a team that could use Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball, it's the Dallas Cowboys. We could have used him at wide receiver and also at corner. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, bro. I was thinking about that. I was like, if there was a team that could use Travis Hunter on both sides of the ball, it would have been the Dallas Cowboys because he would have been a good wide receiver 2 option opposite of CeeDee Lamb and also a good corner, playing with Bland and Trayvon Diggs and, you know what I'm saying? So I would have been perfectly fine with that. It was a perfect fit, but we had to go out there and play some hero ball and win some games that didn't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it must be something in the Dallas water because my Dallas Mavericks went back last night and did the same shit, bro. Why are you bringing it back, Anthony Davis, and blowing out the Brooklyn Nets? We trying to get Cooper Flag now. Why are y'all going out there blowing out the Nets, bro? Like, just call it a wrap. Let Anthony Davis rest. Like, it's just, I don't get these teams' thought process. Like, am I a proponent of losing on purpose? Nah. But you have to know the season is over. You have no Luka Doncic. You have no Kyrie Irving. It ain't happening. So, just let Anthony Davis rest and let the ping pong balls fall. What do I think about the Packers? I like the Packers. They have a young, up-and-coming quarterback in Love. I love Edgerrin Cooper. That was one of my favorite draft prospects last year. Also, Jordan Morgan. I feel like, you guys probably could go get a wide receiver. And if I am the Packers and I'm a Packers fan, there is a guy that Jay Tuck really likes that for some reason people are sleeping on, and that's Luther Burden, that I feel like you add him to the Packers offense, you can get fireworks. Shout out to you for joining the Scouting Academy Brotherhood. It was a great experience, my personal growth as well. Yeah, I loved it, man. I loved it. The stuff that I learned there was amazing. I wish I would have finished it. I didn't get to fully finish it, get the accreditation because like a week after I got accepted into the Scouting Academy and joined the academy, that's when Dez called me and everything was just like took off from there. But even the traits and the stuff that I learned, like I still have all of my notes, like I was just a sponge. And honestly, I'm thinking about just doing it again where I can get just things to die down for a second. But I love the academy, man. And that's why I was trying to tell people, whether you're a content creator or just a football fan, this is kind of my advice to anyone. like you should always want to grow your knowledge. Like always try to grow your knowledge, especially when it comes to the game of football. And I feel like that's what's really lacking, not just in our community, but just in the YouTube content media world as general. Um, is that people get comfortable and they don't try to grow their knowledge when it comes to understanding the game of football, right? So I feel like that is a big problem where you should try to always learn and grow. Like every off season, I take the off season and I feel like I'm an athlete. And what I mean by that, I'm training, I'm studying something that I really struggle with, right? Whether that's content from a standpoint, production from a standpoint, or football. Like I tell people all the time, like my hardest position to really scout is safety because it's like I play linebacker. So everything in front of me I kind of know. And the only reason I know corner is because my roommate, he was one of the best corners, you know what I'm saying, in our division. So, I can talk to him all the time. So I can kind of understand that when you're playing defensive linebacker, right, you're reading offenses, you're watching offensive lineman traits, you're watching running backs and quarterbacks and all. So, like, a lot of stuff in front of me, I really understand. But everything behind me, that's was foreign to me, right? So, whether you're a strong safety or a free safety, that's an area of focus I personally to focus on when it comes to scouting. And also, the Dallas Cowboys don't draft safeties any damn way. So that's my week left that I really want to focus on. So this off season, I'm working with some people. Shouts out to Wanye. Like, let me understand what the hell is going through your mind, so I can understand that safety position. Let's see here. I hope the Giants get Shador or Cam Ward and can start beating the Cowboys again. We can't let that happen. We can't let the Giants get a quarterback at all. Jay Tuck, do you think a one tech is a glaring need for us in the draft? Yep, absolutely. And I know a lot of people mention defensive tackle, and I see people talking about Walter Nolan, who I mentioned as well, or some of these other guys. But I think that we really need a one tech to play alongside with Osa. And also, when it comes to defensive line, you want more wood in the fire. So it can't just be Mozzie, right? Am I giving up on Mozzie? No, but Mozzie's not enough to do things by himself. I would definitely go get you a one tech, a big, nasty one tech, whether that's bringing Linval Joseph back. People in the video, I didn't know Calais Campbell was still available. So you got Campbell out there, but there's also some guys out there in the draft that can play the one as well that I would definitely be interested in bringing in. There are going to be some guys. And if you check the channel, I did Deion Walker. I did Deion Walker early. Like, I think he was the first prospect we broke down, right? So Deion Walker, you have inconsistency. The athleticism and the RAV score wasn't there. You have high pad level. So I think that it could be salute to you, bro, the super chat, LeBron the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. I know kids probably think LeBron's the GOAT. My name is Jordan Michael. So you already know who my GOAT is. It just is what it is. But I'll say this. Deion Walker, low RAS score, didn't showcase the best, combine. Inconsistency, high pad level, work in progress, right? But what I was saying to Cowboys fans, Matty E, what is his bloodlines, right? What is his bloodlines? It's Rod Marinelli. You know what I'm saying? Rod Marinelli. And the one thing I would say about Rod Marinelli is he could get the best out of his defensive line, right? So if Matty E could get someone like Deion Walker, let's say in the 4th round or 5th round, you know what I'm saying? Like something crazy like that. 6'7", speed, size, athleticism, even though it didn't showcase on the RAS score. And if Matty E can get that in Deion Walker, that is a project and a risk I'm willing to take. That is a risk I am willing to take because it's there, but how can you make it be more consistent? You know what I'm saying? So I would say, Deion Walker would be a guy. I know people are talking about, Alfred Collins. Like, list goes on and on with one text. But yeah, to answer your question, that was a long-winded way. I would definitely consider getting a one text. I feel like we got some threes. But also you're going to need a jackknife as well because you lost Chauncey Golston. And Chauncey Golston was a guy that can play 3. He can play 5. He can kind of play a little bit all over. And I know last year they experimented with Marshawn Nealon playing on the inside. I wasn't a fan of that, but that was his coach Zimmer saying we didn't have enough bodies, so Nyland to play in the inside. So would they possibly move Nyland to the inside and have him playing with Sam Williams? Probably not. But also remember, y'all, Sam Williams did play on the inside at Ole Miss. He played a lot of 3-tech and inside at Ole Miss. So could that be a situation? I don't know. But yeah, Brian, Deion Walker for me, that's a lottery ticket I would play. That's a lottery ticket I could play. And if I'm in the 5th round and he's sitting there, I'm just gonna grab him, right? And you better do it before Philly does, because that could be just another monster that if he gets around the right people in the right environment, it could be like, oh shit, look out. So I would definitely take a flight on Deion Walker. Aeneas Peoples, yeah, another good fit. I think Aeneas Peoples, I think he's gonna go super early. I liked Aeneas Peoples' combine, what he had and what he showcased, and his skill set out of VTech. So I like Aeneas People and also the versatility. But I think he's going to go a lot higher than a lot of people originally had him on. I know originally Moxley had him like going the 6th or 5th or something like that. He's definitely made him some money this draft season. So I think Aeneas People is going to go no later than the 3rd. Talking about sports and living our lives is great, but are you aware of World War III is active now? There are football rules we learn as kids before we even play. Run the ball first and second, punt on 4th, and go to the field and goal. Control the clock, control the ball, and a lot of professionals forget. Yeah, September. I think that what's happening right now, you're seeing football recalibrate. And it happens all the times. Like, everything that goes out of style eventually comes back in style. You see what I'm saying? Everything that goes out of style eventually comes back in style. So now what's in style, right? Because it was a passing league and everybody wanted to spread offense and have this Pat Mahomes dropping back, throwing 45 times. And, that was the attraction for a little bit. But then what's changed? You know what? To counter that, fullbacks are back in style, right? 12 personnel is back in style, and running backs are back in style. So every football just kind of goes in a cycle, and that's where we're at right now. That running backs back in style, power football is back in style, gap schemes are back in style, fullbacks are back in style, double tight end sets, right? So now that's just where we're at as far as the football landscape. And I feel like the Cowboys' biggest Achilles heel is we're never ahead of that, right? You know what I'm saying? We're never ahead of the curve. We're always like show to the party like 4 seasons late. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, we saw it like the last 3 years with the Christian McCaffreys and now with the Saquon. Now it's like, oh, we should focus on getting a run. Like, bro, like imagine if the Cowboys would have had this mindset of a power run game when we had semi-quasi still prime Zeke and also Tony Pollard. Like we had everything that we needed already in house, but we were doing too much, basketball and cleats. So it's like we need to get back and reset. So right now football's going back in style. Jordan Farmer, man, that's my dog, man. I love Jordan Farmer. I'm not really sure. I haven't looked at where Jordan Farmer is currently kind of mocked. Now, to be honest with you guys, full transparency, for me, I kind of go 0 dark 30 now because I don't get caught up in, I don't watch Mel Kiper, no, not to these people, Mel Kiper, Tom Shays, any of that, right? I don't kind of watch their mocks. It kind of like me to kind of get into my groove. And then I kind of wait till the Beast comes out. And the reason why I love Dane Brugler's Beast is because that's when you get the nitty gritty. That's when so-and-so had a gun charge in 3rd grade and like weird shit like that, right? So I kind of wait for the Beast to come out. But as of right now, I haven't really looked to see where Farmer is, or Jackson either. But I know Florida State just had their pro day 2 days ago. And Wanye's brother, Azare Thomas, had another phenomenal showing. And I think he's going to make maybe 1st round or early 2nd round money because I like AT, and he's still young. I think he's only 20 years old, right? So one of my guys. What's up? What's up, my dog, Mexican Cowboys? Shay Tuck, what's better duo? Golden and Judkins or Hampton and Beach? That's a good one. Shit. I don't know. I like Golden over over Beck. I mean, I said Beach, right? Beck. But I love Hampton. I think if I'm putting my Cowboys value hat on, right, I like the first option of going Golden and Judkins first because I feel like getting a wide receiver at 12 is a much more premium value, and then turn around and get Judkins in the second. That's even better. So I would go with the first one, but y'all know how much I love Amari Hampton, man. I just love this kid, and he's a guy that early. I mean, because people pulled up videos. Like I was talking about Amari Hampton last year, but y'all remember, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all know I'm an ACC guy. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have to dig deep to find, pause if you want to find Amari and Hampton because he was running all over my Florida State Seminoles. You know what I'm saying? So it was just there on Saturday, right? So, but I love Amari and Hampton. I mean, like I'm saying, and some people might disagree. If you were to make an argument for the Amari Hampton being your number one running back in this year's class, I wouldn't be opposed. I just feel like with Genty, he's done so much, it's harder to mitigate that. And plus, we didn't see his combine, or we haven't seen anything from his pro day. But from Genty's standpoint, I get it. But I'm telling you guys, I don't think that Hampton is that far away. Like, if we were to make the argument right now, do you feel like the Detroit Lions reach for Jahmyr Gibbs at 12? I don't think anyone would and speaking of Hampton, my dog JC Cowboy in the building, he's dropped a phenomenal film breakdown, so go check that shit out ASAP. Um so yeah, but I wouldn't think that anybody would say that, oh man, the Cowboys or the Lions reached for Jahmyr Gibbs in at 12, and that was a horrible pick. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? So I know a lot of people keep saying, oh, we can get Hampton if we trade back. Why do we need to trade back and play with our food? If he's the best one available, just go get the best one available. Because let's say, for instance, we're at 12, right? And Genty goes 7 or 8 or some shit, right? And we trade back to 18. Well, it could be a chance where Amari Hampton goes 15 or 16, right? So then it's like stop playing with your food, right? Cowboys get cute. Last year they got cute because they thought they could trade back and still get Graham Barton. And the Bucks said, got him. It's like got him. And then they started scrambling, went with Tyler Guyton, and then they also got Cooper Beebe. But it's like, don't play with your food. If he's there and that's the guy you want and he gives us instant impact, just go get him. Just go get him now and not worry about it. It's just one of those things where people get caught up in trade values and draft values and all this stuff. I could care less about it. I'm a guy, if I need it, I'm willing to overpay. My wife, she isn't like that. She wants to go look at 5 different places and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? We had a flood upstairs in our upstairs bathroom, and my wife wanted to, well, let's call and ask around and see if we get, man, we have a flood upstairs in our upstairs bathroom. I don't care. Someone come here and fix it. I'm not calling 8 or 9 people and trying to network to figure out who's going to give me the best price point. Yo, can you be here by 2 o'clock today and fix our bathroom? Yes, come do it. And maybe I overpaid, but my bathroom is fixed. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I kind of just go with the approach, just not just the draft, but just the life. Shamar Turner out of A&M. Good question. So I think when it comes to Turner and Stewart, they have the athleticism, they had a good combine, but the production wasn't really there. So I think with this edge rusher class, it's going to be interesting because, of course, you have Abdul Carter, he's just up there, all right? And then after that, I saw someone mention in the chat, like Mike Green and, Stewart and Turner. And then, there's so many of those guys that's kind of a cluster. There really isn't a lot of separation at the defensive end position. I guess it depends on where you're marking Mason Graham. I think Mason Graham, because he got his weight back up to 305 after being like 290. I think Mason Graham's going to be an interior guy who can play some edge, but I don't think that he's the same type of player as Aiden Hutchinson, right? So I feel like when it comes to the edge rushers, this is going to be a massive cluster because you also got to toss in someone like Jalen Walker, the outside linebackers who are coming off the edge as well. Like, how do you view it? So I think the edge is going to be an interesting position to see how everything kind of translates. Let's see here. Dallas likes RAS scores. That could be a factor on choice. Sally could miss out on a good player. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all know I'm not a RAS score guy. It does make, it does give you some perspective, but the RAS scores, it doesn't tell you everything. Like Luke Schoonmaker and Kelvin Joseph had a much higher RAS score than CeeDee Lamb. And I think that we all agree who the best football player is. So, like, I see everyone talking about Xavier Respro out of Miami. He had a horrible pro day, right? You know what I'm saying? Ran a 4.7 or 4.8. Like, shit, that's like my speed, bro. And I got to wear knee braces when I run like that. You know what I'm saying? So I can probably clip you a 4.9, so he's running an offensive lineman speed. But what people have to understand, man, there's so many different factors that goes into these kids' combine or pro days, and seeing it behind the scenes. Some people get test anxiety, right? I'm a perfect example, right? I get test anxiety. Like I know a lot, but if you tell me to take an exam, I freak the hell out. I have bad study habits. I don't sleep well. I don't eat. You know what I'm saying? Like for one of my jobs, I had to pass a 7-hour exam, right, to get my license. And I couldn't sleep. I wasn't eating. You know what I'm saying? So I got real test anxiety. But when it's time to perform at the job, it's easy peasy. You see what I'm saying? So it could have been a situation with X and some of these other players. Let's say you've been pressing, working on your combine speed, you're 40, right? And you ran a 4.5, you ran a 4.6, you ran a 4.5, you ran a 4.6, it was a 4.67, right? So then you're lining up on your pro day, you're like, shit, I can't run this 4.6, I can't run this 4.67. And so you might try something mentally to get to a faster get off, and all of a sudden you slip, you slide. What's up, boss? What's going on with you, dog? You slip and slide, and all of a sudden, now you're clocking in a 4.7 or a 4.8. Or what if your hamstring strained a little bit that day? Or what if you have some knee, you know what I'm saying? So there's so many factors, and I wish that we would stop putting so much ownership in the 40 time, but it's the thing that the NFL can market. It's the thing that a lot of fans could easily grasp, and you can now bet money on it. So gambling is now involved. But we can all tell play speed is much more important than 40 speed. You know what I'm saying? Like agility and these types of things as a wide receiver is much more important than your 40 speed. Have you guys even seen a catch from Jalen Hyatt? I don't know if I can see or name a big time Jalen Hyatt play that I can see from the Giants aspect, right? So what I'm trying to say, there's a lot more that goes into it. Whether you're looking at Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, the list goes on, right? A lot of these Cooper Kupp, Devontae, a lot of these guys aren't burners. The only real burner in the league that's constantly did it at a high level is Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill, it took him a minute to unlock that. You know what I'm saying? It took Tyreek Hill a minute to unlock his wide receiver traits as a wide receiver in Kansas City. And then once it unlocked, it was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? But just having speed and straight line speed isn't the only factor when it comes into scouting a wide receiver. Now, selfishly, let X slide a little bit in the draft. I would love to get him because he's an instant slot guy that can have impact because he can get open. You know what I'm saying? As old as Jason Witten's old ass was, right? Old man Witten, old bald Witten, right? His ass can still get open. You know what I'm saying? He can still get open. Travis Kelce, as old as he is, he can still get open. So there are wide receivers that can still get open. Straight line speed, 40 time isn't everything. The shuttle, the agility, like verticals, like even the gauntlet drill. I would say the gauntlet drill for me is something more important than the 40 speed. Can you run a straight line in hands and catch away from your body and run? There's a lot of different things that I focus on. Just the 40. The 40s are fun, right? But honestly, when you're at the combine, the shit's not fun at all because you're sitting in pure songs like you're at the library, right? And you're just sitting there. They don't even announce the times or anything. It's cold in there. There's some media members talking to you about what we're having for dinner tonight. Like, it ain't fun at the combine watching the 40. It's much more fun at home. But it's just like, we have to stop putting so much ownership just on the 40. Does it translate on the field is the most important thing. These people ain't got on no football cleats. They ain't got no pads. They ain't even got no mouthpiece in. You know what I'm saying? No helmets. No nothing. You know what I'm saying? So take that into consideration as well. Let's see here. Being fast is not everything. Can you catch the ball? Exactly. You can be a fast incompletion, Joe. You know what I'm saying? You can be a 4-2 incompletion waiting to happen. Or you could be extremely fast, and if a corner like Boss Cowboy gets up in your mess in man coverage and jams you up by your shoulder pads and you can't get off the line of scrimmage, that speed does us zero good because you don't know how to release off a press man release. You know what I'm saying? You don't do me no good. Or if you can't find a soft spot in the zone, or you can't gear down and get out of your brakes at the top of your route tree, that speed means absolutely nothing. Yeah, it might be one splash fantasy football play that happens on occasion, but if you can't get out your brakes and sink your hips and you can't cut properly, you ain't gonna do no good. You ain't gonna do no good. Regina says, I don't want any more Matt Waletzko's or Schoonmakers. Yeah, you know, I would agree. I agree. And here's what I'll say. All right, so like Jaylen Tolbert, right? Because I think Mexican Cowboy, we were having this conversation in the chat, right? Because a lot of people are like, oh, the hate that Jaylen Tolbert gets, you know what I'm saying? The hate that Jaylen Tolbert gets is well-deserved, right? And the reason why I push back on that is because the Cowboys put some of these players in bad positions. You see what I'm saying? So think about this. And I've always said this. When we drafted Jaylen Tolbert as a third-round pick, he really didn't have the opportunity to kind of sit, learn the game out of South Alabama, kind of cut his teeth, right? He was coined as the Amari Cooper replacement. Think about how shitty of a situation that is for a third-round pick out of South Alabama who's played minimal football to be like, okay, boom, you're going to be the Amari Cooper replacement. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's a bad situation to put in. So then people looking at Jaylen Tolbert and being like, damn, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? You a bust or this and that. Like, bro, I'm a third-round pick out of a small school, and obviously I'm not supposed to be a 1,000-yard guy. You know, I'm not supposed to be a 1,000-yard guy yet. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's the same thing. Take that same principle with Tyler Guyton. See what I'm saying? Tyler Guyton coming out of OU was predominantly a right tackle from transfer from TCU. We all know the story, right? Okay, well, boom. We're not going to have any other left tackle, whether it's a Tyron Smith, Chuma was out. So no other quality guys. You have to hit the ground running at a position you never played before ever in life. Like, that is a shitty situation to put a young rookie in where it's like the whole world is watching. It's the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm in a situation where I never played this position, and I'm expected to hit the ground running versus grown-ass men that do this for a living. So, you know, I think sometimes when it comes to these draft picks, it's like we have to stop putting our players in bad situations. I know we got so many of these people in our chat right now, but when it comes to the Eagles, it's like they don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nolan Smith didn't have to be Nolan Smith out the gate because they already had edge rushers. You know what I'm saying? Even when it comes to Quinyon Mitchell or Cooper DeJean, they didn't. The Eagles' season was not relying solely on Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? So you're able to have this front layer already solidified and then dump the draft picks on top of that. And if you hit, you hit. But if you don't, you're not stuck. You see what I'm saying? So that is the situation where the Cowboys put themselves in a bind where it's like, nah, bro, like, we shouldn't be relying on a running back, like a running back or a wide receiver in this draft. Let's say, for instance, we don't go running back or wide receiver in the first 2 rounds, right? And let's say in the 3rd round, the Dallas Cowboys draft Jalen Royals, right? We draft Jalen Royals, who I like out of Utah State, right? Cowboys fans are going to want Jalen Royals to be wide receiver 2 now. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to have this expectation to be wide receiver 2 as a third-round pick out of Utah State to hit the ground now. 800 yards, 9 touchdowns, because the Cowboys haven't done their due diligence of getting a clear wide receiver 2. So you're tossing this kid into a shitty situation, and then let's say he has 400 yards and 2 touchdowns as a rookie. Man, Jalen Rose was a bust. We should have never drafted him. It didn't make sense, you know what I'm saying? So, like, we got to stop putting these kids in these bad situations, and get that front layer of protection. Do you trust Turpin being a reliable number 2 wide receiver? No, not number 2. No, not at all. And I like Turp, but no, that's not it. That's not his role. So yeah. Tolbert ruined so many run plays from poor blocking. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be work from Tolbert, but at the end of the day, Jaylen Tolbert had what? What did he have? He had 700. Let's see. What did he have? What did he have last year? Let's see. Jaylen Tolbert had 610 yards and 7 touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? So Jaylen Tolbert had that. Let me see here. Let me look at. Let me see. Let's see. I'm gonna do one thing, quick thing here for y'all. Everybody wants to call when I'm on live. So let's see here. Let's do this. Bang, bang, bang. 7 touchdowns, 610. So let's compare Jaylen Tolbert. All right, cool. Let's do that. So 607, right? And I hate to do it because this is my guy, but let's just do it, right? 610. Let's see here. Now let's compare Jaylen Tolbert to Quentin Johnston, who had 724 and 8. Oh shit, Q. They been hating on Q. You know what I'm saying? They been hating on my dog Q. Had 728, 24, and 8, right? So if you look at the value that they got from Jaylen Tolbert compared to Quentin Johnston, who's a first-round pick, is not too far off. You see what I'm saying? But what I was saying, Mexican Cowboy, is my problem with Jaylen Tolbert is that I don't think that he is a threat that defensive coordinators have to plan for. You know what I'm saying? I highly doubt that we're getting ready to play Philly and Vic Fangio is at the chalkboard saying, we must stop Jaylen Tolbert. Like, he's a guy that he changes everything. Like, they're probably not doing that with Jaylen Tolbert. They're probably saying, if number 1 beats us, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to take away CD. We're going to take away their run game. And we're going to take away Jake Ferguson. If number 1 beats us, just have at it, right? And I feel like that's where we need to change the wide receiver 2 position, right? We need to go get a guy where you can't say with T-Mac, oh, if T-Mac beats us, so be it. Nah, because T-Mac can beat you for real. You know what I'm saying? Matthew Golden can beat you for real. Luther Burden can beat you for real. You know what I'm saying? Luther Burden can go for 143 and 2 touchdowns, and it can be good night, right? So I think that's the biggest problem when it comes to Jaylen Tolbert. And not just Jaylen Tolbert. I would say Jalen Brooks. I would say even Jonathan Mingo as we get to the film. You know, a lot of those guys, even Kevontae Turpin, they're not a guy that's going to keep any defensive coordinator up at night losing any sleep because they just don't pose that threat. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, we take away Jamar Chase, we'll but you better not let T. Higgins beat you. I mean, he will kill you. You know, Jordan Addison can kill you. You know, think about this. When Justin Jefferson went down, Jordan Addison turned up as a number 1 wide receiver. Lord forbid if something happened to CeeDee Lamb, Jaylen Tolbert would not have that ability. Jonathan Mingo would not have that ability. Even with the Eagles, right? When A.J. Brown was nicked up, you had Devontae Smith kind of turn up a little bit, right? So I want a guy that if something was to be the case, it's not a wide receiver 2 per se. It's only 2 because we pay CeeDee Lamb. But I want a wide receiver 1B. You see what I'm saying? I want a wide receiver 1B in Dallas. And if you're not going to go pay and buy one, then you damn sure better go draft one. It's my bias, but I've seen so many drops on curls and drag routes and third down from Tolbert. He reminds me of Noah Brown more like than Bryce Butler or Cedric Wilson. Yeah, I would say he's kind of Noah Brown-esque. You know what I'm saying? I would say that he's Noah Brown-esque because it's like Noah Brown wasn't a great wide receiver, but he wasn't really to blame. You know what I'm saying? When Noah Brown's name was called, like, that season where we made him the wide receiver too, but Noah Brown's name was called for the majority of the time. He made plays. We all know the Jacksonville, you know what I'm saying? But he's a good rotational guy. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing with Jaylen Tolbert. It's just not a threat. Do you think Cooper Beebe will move to left guard to give Hoffman a better fit at center? I think it's off. You can consider it. I would consider it, and I know his offensive line coach, who came from K-State, has said it as well. I personally would like to see Cooper Beebe play at guard. I feel like that's where we can get the most out of him, but it depends on what the offensive line coach thinks with either Hoffman or Beebe, who is the better quote-unquote center. But I think while we get to camp, we'll get to that rotation. Jay Tucker decided if we pair Wanye and his brother, I would love to get the Thomas boys in Dallas, but they're not going to do it. Not going to be able to do it. Being a Cowboys fan at this point is just a waste of time, buddy. Hey, probably not because you're still here, Steven. But yo, I got to jump on this call real quick with Dez, and we got to handle some business. But I might jump back on live here later tonight or later this evening. But appreciate y'all want to kind of go improv. Like I said, we're going to do the Jonathan Mingo film. And then we got some more stuff coming up. We'll do some more draft film right now. But I'm going to jump on this call real quick. Appreciate y'all. Hit the subscribe button, like button, share all the content out there. We'll keep things flying. But I appreciate y'all. And yeah, and we got to get Dez on the show. I'm just like, hey, listen, I need all of y'all to go on Twitter right now and start tweeting Dez. We need you on CFO Sports. You know what I'm saying? Just hashtag it. Let Dez know we need you on the show ASAP. But we got some head on some other stuff. So I appreciate y'all, man. Everyone stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged, and go Cowboys. Peace.